What's up, everybody? My name is Amy, and this is the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. It's your way that you're sitting on top of the world. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ruby Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. My name is Amy. Welcome to my show. Hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday this weekend. Hope you get to be with your family and your friends. No one should be alone. There's no reason for anyone to be alone during the holidays. You know, a lot of people suffer from seasonal depression. They may not suffer from clinical depression like me, but they may just suffer from seasonal depression. And, those are the people that you gotta look out for. You know, if you got a neighbor that you see alone all the time, and invite them over for dinner, as long as you don't think that they're a creeper or anything. It's always nice to share the holidays with someone. My family's pretty much all gone. The only family I have left are my two daughters, and my granddaughter and my son-in-law, but my youngest daughter and my son-in-law live in Virginia Beach, and my oldest daughter and my granddaughter live about an hour away from me, and that's where I am now. And I spend the holidays now with my ex-in-laws, believe it or not. And me and my ex-sister-in-law, we all pile up here at my daughter's house and spend the night and cook and whatnot and just have a ball. So, a lot of things have been going on with me personally lately. And I'm going to be changing things up here. I am going back to my original platform, which is Spotify. That's where I started. And I came here to YouTube to, expand my audience and expand my channel and get to know, other people that love true crime and are interested in talking about these cases and stuff. But these YouTube streets are nasty. And it's sad that a bulk of the people who follow true crime are more interested in the drama between creators than they are in the actual cases. I mean, you've had so many drama channels that have spun off from the Summer Wells case, because that case just brought out the ugly people and the nastiness. And, I've sat and watched, just hundreds of clip channels and hate channels and, drama channels that you say you're true crime, but all you do is talk about drama every single day on your show with a panel full of people. That's not true crime. That's called go down to the beauty shop or something and discuss it with your beautician. Get off YouTube, something. But I, came here hoping to do my podcast here and meet some new people and interact with people about these cases. And I've worked hard to try to have a good channel and talk about just true crime stuff, but it just hasn't worked out. I don't know if it's because I don't have any drama on my channel. I don't know if it's because people just don't like me or like the format of my show, or what it is, but I have had trouble all my life fitting in with other people and not being well liked for some reason, and I've never understood it, because I've always been, a good and kind person, a loyal friend. I'm the friend that'll come help you bury the body, and take it to my grave and not tell nobody. But nobody seems to be interested in loyalty anymore, or having loyal friends, or anything like that. But yeah, I just, this YouTube is just it's very toxic, and I just don't I don't really care about, I've never cared about wanting to get into all this drama. That's why I've stayed away from a lot of channels. There's a bunch of these big time channels that I have never set foot on their channel. Knew from the beginning I just didn't want anything to do with them. And then there have been people that I have supported along the way that I have not gotten the same support in return from. There were some weird alliances made that made me lose respect for people. And so, this the YouTube streets are like going back to high school. And it's just nasty, and for whatever reason, the channels who do true crime or try their best to stick to true crime are channels that are already established. And the ones that are just the trauma channels are the ones that I don't want anything to do with. And so I've remained sort of a rogue channel. but I am going to go back to my original platform. I don't have to interact with people because obviously no one wants to interact with me, or show my channel any support or anything. So, why stick around? Because, like I said, this place is toxic. It's like going back to high school, and it's very triggering. And it has caused me a lot of grief because I do suffer from clinical depression, amongst other things. And, the listener may think I sound like I'm feeling sorry for myself or wanting you to feel sorry for me. No, that's not the case. It's just the honest to God's truth. It is the truth about myself that I've had to accept. And that is that for some reason, my whole life, I have never fit in with any groups, and I have never been liked. Does that hurt? Hell yeah, it hurts. Hell yeah, it hurts. Because I am still that little girl in the 3rd grade trying to figure out why nobody likes her and nobody wants to be her friend and nobody wants to hang out with me. I am that 3rd grade little girl that doesn't understand why she doesn't fit in with the other kids. And frankly, after 40 years of trying to fit in with people, I'm fucking tired of it. Took me a long time and 2 near-death experiences to learn to love myself. 2 near-death experiences. Not because I was trying to hurt myself. That's not why those 2 things happened. They happened because I didn't care. I didn't care whether I lived or died. So, but this video is not about, this podcast is not necessarily about me, but I do like to talk about some of my life experiences because I truly hope that something I've been through or still going through, or in some way, shape, fashion, or form, that if I can help one person in this world, whether it be with their personal problems, help the police solve a crime, keep someone, from knowing that they're not alone, then I've done my job. So, excuse me, I had to cough. So I want to talk about Leilani Simon and her arrest. They did find Quinton's remains this past Friday in the landfill there in Chatham County. They did not announce that they had found any remains until Monday after they arrested her, because they needed to determine they immediately sent the remains that they found to their lab in Quantico. And they needed to at least determine that they were A, human bones, B, the size bones of what a 20-month-old child's, the size of their bones, and what, whatever they found was that, close to that age range. But they have, and considering where the remains were found and the other items apparently that they found along with the remains, there's pretty much no doubt that the remains are those of Quinton Simon. So they arrested her mother. They have Leilani. They have charged her with malice murder, filing a false report and false writings, and concealment of the death of another. She is being held in the Chatham County Detention Center on no bond. She had a bond hearing today that she didn't even go to. Her public defender went to, and they said they gave her no bond. She is not allowed any visitation right now in the jail. And so she's going to be spending Thanksgiving alone tomorrow, eating God only knows what. I'm sure they'll give them something decent. I don't know. I've never been in jail. I've only ate one jail meal. And I kid you not. No, 2 jail meals, as a matter of fact. Once I ate a jail meal because my ex-husband, who's my daughter's father, he and I had to testify in a trial. Actually, I was the only one that ended up testifying. They didn't call him to the stand. They only called me. But and this happened many, many, many years ago when we were kids. And we found ourselves testifying in the middle of a trial. A friend of ours was murdered. And anyway, we were really good friends with the detectives. I especially had developed a very good relationship with a couple of the detectives because of, everything that happened. It was like I just didn't want to talk to anybody except for them. And then come to find out they were lying to me the whole damn time. But that's another story. Anyway, we went after court was over. We went up to the jail and watched ourselves on the evening news. And they were serving dinner in the jail. So we got a meal. I think it was fish. And then one time in Texas, my boyfriend and his sister and me and my daughter broke down in the middle of nowhere. Okay. And a policeman finally came along and picked us up and took us to the police station, and we got a hold of his parents to wire us some money. It was his I believe it was his mother and stepdad we were visiting there in Texas, and to send us some money through, what is that thing that you could send money through? We didn't have Cash App and stuff back then. It was where you have to go to Kroger's and get it, or Walmart, or or somewhere. Anyway, and they wired us some money, and the police took us to the store and then took us to a hotel nearby. Um, and we rented a hotel room because we had to wait like 2 or 3 hours for his parents to get there to get us. So, and anyway, it was it was it was around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. So we got to eat jail breakfast. They offered us food there at the jail. I mean, nicest people you could ask for. Oh, but anyway, Leilani is still denying that she had anything to do with Quinton's death, of course. I guess she's still blaming it on Danny because she can't blame it on Bubba. Bubba didn't do it. The babysitter didn't do it. And, there's the only three people in the house were her, Danny, and Paul. So, that's about the only thing she can do is blame Danny and, play dumb. Oh, that's what's doing all, and Billie Jo is still in denial, complete denial. It's like in one breath she talks like Leilani's guilty. She talks like she's never tried to protect her. She says things like, I want justice and I want peace in my life, and can't have that with Leilani even in the house with her. So it's like deep down that your daughter's guilty. You just don't want to believe it. And believe me, I can as a mother, I can understand that. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow, but unfortunately, it happens. And sometimes we have to accept a lot of ugly truths in our life. Believe me, I've had to accept a lot of ugly truths in my life. But Billie Jo, her biggest thing is she has been, is currently, and will still be tomorrow concerned about one thing, and that is herself. She has only been concerned about herself, her getting any blame for this, why she shouldn't get any blame for this. Well, you did this, pointing the finger at everybody. Well, if I'm guilty, you're guilty. If I knew, you knew, and whatnot. And, it's just like, lady, you have nobody to blame but yourself and your daughter. You're the one that went and got custody of them. You're the one that turned around and left them with her. And now they're gone. And now he's gone. You left those kids with her, and now little Quinton is gone. So stop blaming the babysitter. Stop blaming Danny. Stop blaming Bubba. Stop blaming Bullhorn Betty. Stop blaming the neighbors the numerous neighbors and people in and around the surrounding area of your neighborhood are the ones who called CPS on you. The numerous times people saw those babies outside in the street and in the yard alone by themselves. long before Miss Diana ever even came along and started babysitting those kids. Billie Jo's also on this big kick about how she's the one that took Leilani and turned her in. Because Leilani was about to run off from rehab and she took her in, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Nobody but you, Billie Jo. Because you want something to make yourself look good. You want something to redeem yourself with. Because you can't redeem yourself with nothing else. You should have turned her in a long time ago. You should have took her to the jail a long time ago. You have sat there, and I don't think you are a dumb woman for 1 minute. You have sat there and you have known deep in your heart, your soul, and your guts that Leilani was guilty. Otherwise, why would things be so tense? Why would things be so terrible? Why would things be so awful that you just can't even stand to share the same oxygen as your daughter? You say you stand behind her and you want, hey, that's all fine and great. But you want it, you seem to want to do it at a distance. And I think that it is mostly because deep down you also know your own guilt. You know that Leilani's fucked up because you fucked her up. I mean, the 3 children sure have never had a chance. But I had even said myself, I don't know that if Leilani even had a chance. Hell, she was born into a criminal enterprise. You had a rap sheet as long as my leg by the time she was born. And still racking up charges thereafter. So, you know, I don't know what your problem is, lady, but you're going to have to swallow some hard truths. Some very hard truths. And I want to talk about Miss Diana, the babysitter. Got to speak with her today. She came on the Bullhorn Betty show this afternoon and did an interview with Bullhorn Betty. And she cleared up a lot of things. She cleared up a lot of questions that we all had. She corrected a lot of things. She corrected a lot of misinformation. She clarified certain things. You know, I am so glad that she has finally been able to come out and actually speak her mind and say what she needed to say, and that she felt comfortable and had a comfortable platform on the Bullhorn Betty show. I am so thankful that Andra was able to get her to come on and talk. So if you haven't seen that interview, the link is in the description box below. So please go watch that interview, because if you want to know the truth, that's where it's at. Miss Diana has no reason to lie. She is the one telling the truth. And after you watch this interview, if you can still tell me that Billie Jo Howell is not manipulating and selfish and only cares about herself and trying to drag Miss Diana down in the process with her in the midst of these texts, because she's trying to blame her too. But if you could still look me in the eye with an honest face and say that you still think Billie Jo is telling the truth, you need the guidance counselor. I am not even shitting you. You need the guidance counselor. I've never seen so many dumb fucking people in my life that would buy her crap, except for people that are dumb and naive or just want to, make a buck off supporting the opposition side of the creators that you hate. I mean, I think some of these people would literally sell their soul to the devil to do an interview with Satan himself if it was somebody, if it was somebody that Bullhorn Betty or Justice for All or Molly Golightly or someone like that were against. I mean, hell, I don't know how much worse you can get than Don Wells and Candace Wells and Billie Jo Howell and Leilani Simon. Like, these are the worst of the worst parents. I'm no perfect parent, and anyone that's hearing my voice is no perfect parent either. But Jesus Christ, I mean, there's just and CPS would have to be absolutely nuts to give Billie Jo those 2 kids back. Absolutely nuts. Because it clearly states in those papers where CPS took custody away from Billie Jo after Quinton turned up missing and presumed dead, those children were removed from her care because of her neglect to protect them. What part of that do you not get, Billie Jo? What part of that do you and your supporters and your mouthpiece not get? It baffles me. Like, what the hell are y'all smoking over there? Damn. But see, y'all want to see a protest? Y'all want to see some hecklers? I guarantee you, let CPS give them kids back to Billie Jo and see if you don't get a 1,000,000-man march in Savannah, Georgia. Because, I seem to love Quinton more than his own mother did. You love Quinton more than his own mother did. Betty and Molly and Justin and JLR and Dolly and Griff and Pam and all the good creators out there love Quinton more than his own mother does. And we've never held him. We've never seen him face to face. None of us give birth to him. But you know, I learned a long time ago that DNA does not make a parent. DNA does not make a parent. So, but that's really all I have for this evening. Like I said, you know, it's time to accept the truth, Billie Jo. It really is. And if and I want to put this out there too. If anyone who hears this podcast knows Bubba Moss, Quinton Simon's father, knows any of his friends, his family, his neighbors, anybody, please tell him to fight for Quinton's remains. Don't let Billie Jo get him. She is not his next of kin. His father is. You know, that family has desecrated this child long enough. But I know Bubba's going through a lot. But trust me, if he can get this message, he will get help from the creators that truly care about Quinton. We will donate to the funeral home or whatever needs to be done. But it's time to, you know, to allow this child needs to be buried and to be able to rest in peace. And I hope Chief Hadley says that no more arrests in this case are anticipated. He is not investigating Billie Jo in connection with Quinton's death. Even us that don't like Billie Jo don't think that she was involved in the case. None of us have ever said that. None of us have ever said that Billie Jo was involved. We have always stated that she was culpable and that she had some responsibility in the death of her grandson, Quinton Simon, because she did what she didn't do what she told the courts she was going to do. She went off, she left them kids there with Leilani, and want to say that, oh, well, the kids weren't alone with Leilani. Okay, so did you expect Danny to take care of them the whole time? Did you expect Paul to take care of them the whole time? Or Miss Diana to take care of them the whole time? I mean, I'm a little confused here. I think all that matters too is you just don't want the blame on you. And I'm sorry, but y'all can kiss her ass all you want to. She is responsible, ethically, morally, and according to the courts, according to a court of law, she was responsible for those 3 children, and she failed. So, well, like I said, that's about all I really had to say. You know, I could go on and on and on about those people, but I think it's time to move forward now. And I do want to get into what possibly happened that night. You know, we don't know, but what possibly could have happened that night. I want to get into that, and I am going to be talking about the Idaho 4, the college kids that were murdered in Moscow, Idaho. I had planned to do. I had a live going. Started last night on that, and I had some technical difficulties, and once that happens, I just get frustrated. So I will be rescheduling that, maybe probably for tomorrow. I don't know, but like I said, some things are going to change here. I'm going to continue to stay on here on my YouTube channel as much as possible, but the format will be different. And like I said, I'm going to reestablish my podcast on Spotify, and because I think that's just maybe where I more belong. And everything. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, and everyone, please remember to be the change that you wish to see in this world. As Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
From the Rudy Pearl Glamper True Crime Podcast. If you love all things true crime, then please hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And please give us a thumbs up, because you're all invited back next week to this locality.